conclusion I've come to is that if a person likes you enough, almost everything you do will be attractive to them. But if they don't like you enough, those same things will be like cringy, annoying, and like an ick. For me, if I like someone, I want them to be jealous to an extent, like protective and like, you know, what's mine is mine, don't touch. If someone I'm not really that interested is getting like jealous or like possessive over me, I'm like, chill. Back in my advice era days, I would always say that like a really hot thing for a guy to say is if you're like, shut up, and he goes, make me. I think that's very attractive, but it's only attractive if you're into the person. One guy who I thought was really cute, but then he started violently pissing me off and like disgustingly, like literally I've never been so aggravated by a man in my entire life. And then I told him to shut up and he goes, make me. He wanted to puke everywhere. I was like, shut the fuck up. Like actually shut the fuck up. And I'm not gonna make you, I'm just leaving this conversation because I don't, that was ugly. I always see guys posting things about like, it's so hot when a girl does this. It's so hot when a girl wears this. You mean it's hot when a girl you're attracted to does those things. I say it's so hot when a girl is like weird as fuck. Like I love when a girl is weird. You like it when a hot girl is weird. Because I promise you, if a girl you weren't interested in or you didn't find attractive was being weird, you would not be sitting here being like, oh my god, that was so hot. You would be sitting here being like, that's a fucking psychopath, get me away from her. You find that a person claims they like certain things, but when you do it, they're not catching on to the fish the way you thought they would. It's because the hard truth is, they don't like you enough. I'm so sorry. I'm always seeing really young girls and like teenagers especially talking about how badly they want like a nose job. And I don't know if there's like a study on this or what, but I swear your nose doesn't like set into its proper place and size until you're in like your 20s. Whenever I post pictures of myself from when I was like a teenager, people will be like, oh, did you get like a nose job? And I'm like, no, I think my face just filled in. I will say I've never had like an overly big nose or anything, but you can visibly tell that my nose looks smaller now. This is me when I was 13. There's a difference. When I was 15, so you can tell it got like a little smaller versus 13, but it's like still not this. Another angle, another view. There's nothing wrong with your nose. It's perfect the way it is. 2, I think it's still changing. Like I think your face and everything is still changing because like it's not the biggest difference on earth, but it's enough for people to think I got a nose job. Don't jump on the let me get a nose job the second I turn 18 bandwagon just yet. Your face is still filling in and your nose is still like finding its place.
Making your home modern and beautiful is easier than you think with 50/50 RGB SMD strip lights. Bright, uniform, ambient lighting for anywhere in your room. Use exactly the length you need thanks to the cuttable design. Waterproof properties and the use of double copper make them durable and long-lasting in all conditions. Change the colors, effects, and brightness of the lights thanks to the wireless remote or the app on your phone. Change the look of your home. Order now. So much to be said about growing up ugly and what that does to you even after having like a glow up. And if you think I'm ugly still, that's fine. You're welcome to that opinion. Leave me alone. If I have a lisp, it's because I have my retainer in. And this is your sign to start fucking wearing your retainer because most people who need a retainer never wear it. And I'm just so scared of my teeth getting crooked again that I always wear mine. But I started noticing it was getting a little more crooked. So I was like, let me just wear it a little bit longer because I'm scared. I can't speak as much on the male experience of growing up like uggos, but I can for the female experience. Growing up ugly, I always felt like I was such a nuisance to everybody, and I just felt like people get like annoyed when I talk. I felt like everything I said was dumb. I was treated like shit. Once I had my quote-unquote like glow up, one, I didn't even fucking realize I had one. I kind of noticed people started being nicer to me, and the people who used to treat me like fucking garbage are like nice, and I was like, what's happening? And then you notice people start like complimenting you more and you're like, huh? And you don't believe it because you've literally never been complimented in your entire life and you feel like fucking crap about yourself. And then so many people are like, you're pretty, you're this, you're that. You're like, what? But the long-term effects of it is so insane because I feel like even in my day-to-day life now, still that insecure like 14-year-old inside of me that's like, will I ever be pretty enough? See it in how your dating life goes too. You're noticing you always date guys that treat like shit. You're always settling and everyone's always telling you you deserve so much better. Probably because you grew up ugly and felt like we're never gonna find someone. So now that you finally did, even though you're stunning now, you're like, this is the best I'm ever gonna do. Like I'm too ugly for anybody else. Settle because you're so used to being treated like shit that you're convinced that's the best it's gonna get. You don't know any better because your whole life you felt like you were taking up so much space, and now that finally people are treating you like a human being, you're like, what is the standard? All I've ever known is being treated like shit, so you accept being treated like shit. These are things to remember when you have a crush. And this is just to help you not romanticize them, because if you're anything like me, you'll romanticize them to the moon and back. Plan your entire future with them. Imagine that you're living in some sort of like rom-com or like K-drama. Here are some reminders. You know how we all have that one guy or that one person that just like fucked you up so much mentally and put you through like hell and back, like to the point where you probably needed therapy? He is that guy for someone else. There is someone that he did destroy. I want you to think for 1 second, how much do you actually know about this bitch? Do you actually know him? Like, do you really think he'd like get you roses and do blah blah blah, all the shit that you fantasize about? You're just like hoping that that would happen. Him and his boys have definitely had like locker room talk where he said some foul ass shit that would probably make you want to fucking slit your throat. Personally, I'm so jealous that I can't even handle a guy like thinking someone else is pretty, but like to each their own, I guess. You were probably nervous showing your friends a picture of him, and most likely you had to give a disclaimer being like, swear he's better looking in person before you showed him, and your friends still told you he was ugly and that you could do better. You have been this obsessed, if not more obsessed, with someone else, and in the moment you were like, oh my god, he's so perfect, I'll never be good enough for him, I love him, I want to be with him forever. Now you're so disgusted by him that you were like, oh my god, I wish someone would have slapped me out of it, because what the fuck, I'm here to slap you out of it. Just remember, guys will stick their downstairs neighbor into just about anything. Grapefruit, peanut butter jar. The guy you're obsessed with has definitely put his in something that's really fucking weird, and he'll never admit it, so like, ew, what the hell?
This is why you need to friend zone every single person you ever meet in your entire life. Okay, I'm half joking, but I feel like the biggest fuck up us girls do, viewing someone romantically before getting to know them, is the second you put them in this box of like, I want to be with you and not just get to know you, not be yourself for the life of you, because now you have something to lose. You just try to get to know them on a friend level. You can just like be yourself, because you're like, there's no expectation, we're just buddies. What us girls do when we're interested in someone is hide the things that make us like unique and eccentric. We're like, oh my god, it's so weird, he's gonna think it's weird, and then he's not gonna want to be with me. I hide these things so that he doesn't get disgusted by me. In reality, it's those things that make you different that make people like you more. Really think about how many times you've had like a guy friend who ends up texting you like, hey, I have to tell you something. Those things about you were really that weird. Do you think that every guy you've been friends with would be interested in you? No. The way you act around your guy friends and how much you can just be yourself and not care. Imagine if you could just be like that around every person you had like romantic interest in. The power you would hold. Some life advice other people gave me that literally changed my life. My voice is like partially gone, so if it sounds funny, that's why. Embarrassment is not real. I was really obsessed with this guy in college and I wanted to text him something, but I was like nervous, and I was asking my friend like, if you were me, would you do it? She was like, yeah, I would. And I was like, but would you be embarrassed if he didn't answer? Like, no, I wouldn't, but I'm me. Like, I don't really care. That was the moment that it clicked for me, where I'm like, the only way embarrassment is real is if you get embarrassed by it. Because the same thing could happen to two people and one person won't be embarrassed, the other person will be, and now it's embarrassing. Don't get me wrong, I still get embarrassed, but it's not to the point where it's like making me want to die. You only fail when you give up. It's only a failure once you're like, I'm done and I failed at that. But if you're never done, you can never fail. You can achieve basically anything as long as you have enough discipline. Even when you're feeling like, I physically cannot bring myself to do it, yes, you can. That's what discipline is forcing yourself to do it even when you're like, I literally can't. That one really helped me with working out, because I'm always like, I can't bring myself to go to the gym. I would just be like, yes, you can, and I'd force myself up and just go. I was really nervous about starting a YouTube channel. My friend was like, once you start, you're gonna look back and be like, why didn't I start sooner? Once you get over the initial fear of starting something, you get to see like the reward, and you're like, wow, this reward was so much better than the fear I had. I don't know who needs to hear this, but those tarot card readings on your For You page are not a sign, okay? He's not coming back. And even if he was, you shouldn't let him. These are some reminders that you need to hear. Are we seeing my skin? What is going on? Why could you literally see this glow from like a satellite in space? Not everyone is going to like you, and that's okay. The more you try to get people to like you, the more they don't. If you're just true to yourself and 100% real to who you are, it'll attract the right people and they'll like you for the right reasons. Not everything is a sign, okay? I struggle with this personally because I'm a little lover girl, what can I say? If I like someone, I want to believe that they are my soulmate, and I'm convinced everybody's my soulmate. I had a dream, and in the dream, he confessed his feelings. So like, that means he wants to confess his feelings. Like, no babes, that means you want him to confess the feelings that you want him to have for you. If it's meant to be in your life, it will be. If you have to beg and chase for it to be in your life, you're gonna learn a really hard lesson from it. Like, every time I've like begged for something to be in my life instead of just letting it come naturally, it always ends up so badly. The things that scare you. There is no growth in comfort. You will never learn anything from constantly doing what's safe. I get scared so easily, but the second I get scared of something, I'm like, let me just do it now. What do you have to lose? Life is short. Just do what you gotta do. Do it for the plot. Do it just for the plot. Do it for the story that you will get out of it.